Berlin, April 1945. The city is in flames. The Third Reich is on the brink of total collapse. And deep beneath the smoldering rubble, in a concrete tomb, Adolf Hitler is living out his final, desperate days consumed by fear, betrayal, and a terrifying delusion. This is the story of the Vorbunker. Located beneath the Reich Chancellery, it was Hitler's last refuge. Imagine a claustrophobic maze of narrow corridors, lit by dim, flickering lights, the air thick and stale. Here, the dictator who once held sway over millions now paced like a caged animal, his once mighty empire crumbling just a few meters above his head. A strange fact, the bunker was built over 8 meters underground with reinforced concrete and was well stocked with champagne, even as food and supplies for the city above became scarce. Outside, Soviet artillery relentlessly pounded Berlin into dust. Inside, the atmosphere was just as explosive. Hitler, his health failing and his grip on reality slipping, raged at his generals, screaming accusations of betrayal and incompetence. He moved imaginary divisions on maps, issuing commands to armies that had long since been annihilated. His most loyal followers, like Goebbels and Eva Braun, remained by his side, trapped in the same doomed reality. Others, sensing the end, tried to save themselves. Himmler secretly attempted to negotiate a surrender with the Allies. Göring, believing Hitler was incapacitated, declared himself the new When Hitler learned of these betrayals, his fury was absolute. The end came swiftly. On April 29th, with the sounds of battle drawing ever closer, Hitler married Eva Braun in a bleak, brief ceremony. It was a bizarre final act of normalcy in a world gone mad. The very next day, they said their final goodbyes to the remaining staff. Then, retreating to a small private room, Hitler shot himself. Eva Braun died by his side, having taken a cyanide capsule. Following Hitler's explicit orders, their bodies were carried up to the war-torn Chancellery garden, doused in gasoline, and set alight, just as the first Soviet soldiers were entering the area. In the aftermath, the horror continued. Joseph Goebbels, utterly devoted to his leader, refused to imagine a world without Hitler. He and his wife poisoned their 6 young children before taking their own lives. The bunker, once the nerve center of a monstrous regime, was now a silent tomb, a potent symbol of fanaticism and ultimate failure. On May 8, 1945, the war in Europe officially ended, but the dark legacy of those final days in the bunker would haunt the world for generations. For decades, fueled by Soviet secrecy, wild conspiracy theories swirled. Did Hitler somehow escape? But forensic evidence eventually confirmed the truth. Hitler died in that bunker, a broken man trapped by the very lies he had used to build his empire. The bunker wasn't just a physical place, it was a metaphor for isolation, for the terrifying power of delusion, and for the inevitable implosion of tyranny. As one historian so aptly put it, the bunker was the final stage of Hitler's Madness, place where reality no longer existed, and in that suffocating darkness, the war finally ended, not with a blaze of glory, but with smoke, ashes, and the quiet fall of a dictator. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this glimpse into history interesting, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories like this. See you next time.